Poor Things is the newest movie starring Emma Stone, and actually, it's the first film I've seen that is directed by Yorgos Lanthimos. Please forgive me if I said his name wrong, by the way, because I'm pretty sure I did. But this movie tells the story of Bella Baxter, a woman who is brought back from the dead by her guardian, Dr. Goodwin Baxter. Frankenstein vibes, everyone. I don't know much about Yorgos's style or themes he likes to use when it comes to film. Like I said, this is the first film I've seen of his that he directed. But I do know that one of the genres that he's mainly known for is black comedies, and that's exactly what this film is. Poor Things is a black comedy fantasy film. And I mean, it's weird. It's a very weird film. But I mean, it's weird in a good way. I loved it completely. And I mean, that's the way, I guess you can say, when you watch a film, you see it through the director's eyes, like the way they see the world. And I mean, it's up to the audience to understand that, because that's part of the adventure of filmmaking, isn't it? So I mean, even though it's weird, I think it was a great adventure while watching this film. I enjoyed it the whole way. There were many things I liked about this film. I mean, one thing that I liked was some of the shots that I was seeing. Some of them looked like you were looking at the characters and watching the film like through a peephole in a door. So it's like basically like you would be watching it like this, like you're looking through your door. But I mean, what I mainly liked about it was, of course, the gothic style of it. I mean, I love gothic style films. I mean, one of my favorite directors is Tim Burton, and he always goes for the gothic feel. So I mean, the sets, I mean, the color scheme, it all felt like it gave a real gothic feeling in the air. But I mean, I guess you can call this film, I guess now you can actually call this film, you can add gothic fiction or gothic horror to it, since it was giving off that kind of feeling, and since I said it was giving a very Frankensteinish vibe, then yeah, it could be considered gothic horror and gothic fiction, since that's what Frankenstein was. Also, when I first saw the trailer, I didn't know who this man was, but I was thinking just by the imagery that this was definitely a Tim Burton film. And when I was shocked and surprised when it wasn't, but I was like, man, I gotta see this film because I am hooked just by looking at this trailer. As we already know from the trailer, we know that Emma Stone is the main character, and her character, Bella, is very odd. Yeah, she's like exceedingly odd, and there's a reason behind that. It's one of the many things that makes this movie very weird. But I don't want to go into too detail with that because, I mean, because this is a spoiler-free review, but I am going to mention why she acts very weird, because, I mean, it's this what explains this reason behind her being odd is because it happens like within the first 5 minutes of the film. And the reason for that is because when her character dies, apparently by suicide at that, she actually was pregnant at the time, and when she is reborn, the mad scientist, Dr. Goodwin Baxter, took the unborn child's mind and put it in her head. So it was nice to see that. It was interesting to see basically a woman with a child's mind on this adventure of self-discovery and, of course, also sexual liberation. The cast of this film was, needless to say, amazing. I mean, every actor had a great performance, especially William Dafoe and Mark Ruffalo, but their performances were dwarfed by Emma Stone. It's obvious she was the main star that everyone was watching in this film. And, I mean, we already know that she's won an Oscar for La La Land back in 2017, but this definitely was an Oscar nominee performance. She was spectacular. That's basically the best way to say it. I mean, her character was unbalanced, I will say that much, but it was unique. And I love that from start to finish of this film. She was without a doubt the character that I could not take my eyes off of. Mark Ruffalo's performance is also the other character I want to really touch on a little bit more than maybe Emma Stone's, because, I mean, first of all, I mean, he's the one playing Dr. I mean, not doctor. He is a lawyer, actually, not a doctor, my bad. He is the one playing the character Mr. Duncan Wedderburn, which is what I'm trying to say, which is who Bella runs off with on an adventure. Well, on her adventure of self-discovery. And, well, first of all, I'd just like to say that the first reason why I like his character so much is because this was the first. It's nice to see him playing another character that isn't Bruce Banner. I mean, he's been needing to get out of Disney for a long time now. But the other thing that I liked about it so much was his character's dynamic. It was very interesting. I mean, first off, he starts off like being obsessed. He's obsessive about Bella, but he doesn't see her as a person. He sees her like a doll. So he just wants to parade her around, like just have this perfect doll that he can show off and have all to herself and just show that she's mine, stay away from her, you cannot touch her, do not touch my perfect doll. But while they are on this journey together, traveling the world, she starts learning about how the world works, and he later starts seeing her as a woman who has been manipulating him this whole time, which is not true at all. So, I mean, that character dynamic flipping 180 was actually very interesting, and I really loved that. But what really sealed the deal, that really made me love it so much, was the way that Yorgos actually showed it, and it was through humor. I liked that. I mean, he showed that dynamic through humor and not through like some serious psychological thriller or some suspenseful like scene. And it's easy to show and get that the message that was trying to be said there, that Bella is a person, not a toy. So, I mean, it didn't have to be, spoon-fed to us of what the message was here, which was great. I mean, I liked that we could get the message easily. Also, I think another thing that really helped this movie was the fact that they made it an R-rated movie and not PG-13. I mean, this movie has a lot of touchy subjects, and it's also pretty graphic too as well. So, I mean, with what was shown in this movie, let's just say that there was a lot of things that were shown in this movie that you probably would not have seen if this movie was rated PG-13. So it was good that it was rated R. I don't know why movies have become so, well, I mean, I don't want to say watered down. I mean, that's probably not the right word I want to say. Censored. I guess that's the term I would use, censored. I mean, I'm guessing that understand that filmmakers, it's like the filmmakers nowadays, they just want to play it safe and not go the extra mile. But, I mean, a lot of filmmakers nowadays, they want to make movies, no matter what the rating, like, of something that all audiences could watch. But there's a big difference between a PG-13 film and an R-rated film. It'd be like trying to compare a G-rated film to a PG-13, and pretty much dropping from R to PG-13 is dropping it to a G-rated film for adults. Because when you rate a movie R, this is the way I see it. This is my explanation. Some people may not agree with this, but when they rate a movie R, it's like they're not holding back. They can give it everything they got. They can go the extra mile and probably show things that you wouldn't get in your average movie. But when you drop that rating down to PG-13, that's actually, it may not seem like a big drop since PG-13 is just right above R, since you don't technically rate TV-14 for, movies, but that is actually a big drop. There's a lot of things that you can get in an R-rated movie that you can't get in a PG-13 movie, and you see a film that has this great story, but they can't go the extra mile in showing certain things because of being a PG-13 movie. And it just shows you what a film could have been. And I mean, that's just disappointing in my opinion, because I mean, I understand that they want to make it their films to a broader audience, but sometimes, like with this movie, R rating is better, and it's just what's best for the film. So I'm actually glad that they did that with this one. I'm gonna give Poor Things an A. Great movie overall, very well done, well shot. I couldn't see anything wrong with it, but I will say that this is not a movie for everyone. Like I said before, it's very weird, and if you're not into these kind of films, this just may not be the movie for you. Just letting you know that and giving you a heads up. But if you're willing to give it a try, please, by all means, give it a try. I don't think you'll be disappointed. But that wraps up this movie review. If you guys have seen Poor Things, please comment here down below. Also, you like my other videos, don't forget to like and subscribe. See you guys next time, and remember to stay epic.